We live in a world that glorifies falling in love as life's ultimate quest. From fairy tales to music, the prevailing message seems to be that to be happy, we need only find that ideal soulmate who will give our lives sweet wholeness. And so with longing and urgency, we embark on the chase, hoping at last the one will fill the aching void within. Yet the ancient Stoic philosophers taught that this outward grasping is futile. Lasting fulfillment cannot be found in external things like fame, wealth, or even romantic love itself. True joy and purpose must arise from within through self-mastery. Perhaps there is wisdom in cultivating our inner landscape first before seeking a partner to complete us. When we develop self-knowledge and passions that resonate in our depths, we allow genuine contentment to organically arise within. From this centered place, we radiate warm authenticity that draws others close. Once our inner light grows brightly with self-care and understanding, we become whole beings, ready to freely and generously love another instead of seeking a missing piece from them. There is truth in the paradox that by stopping that urgent chase for love, we open space for rich and balanced bonds of intimacy and commitment to flow freely into our full lives. When we nurture our own completeness first, what enters is no longer rooted in grasping need or illusion, but reciprocal joy and conscious choice. Perhaps the route to lasting love passes first through discovering and learning how to love oneself fully and rightly. So if you're hooked on finding love at all costs, then you should watch this because you might learn something you never knew. Before we get started, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell to get more amazing videos like this. Chasing love comes from a place of inner emptiness. We have all experienced loneliness at times, feelings of inner isolation and inadequacy that crave to be assuaged through external validation. The Stoic philosophers taught that one must look inward to fill this void. Yet in moments of longing, entering a relationship can seem the perfect antidote. We yearn for the security of a partner's embrace to reassure us we are worthy and lovable beings. In the quest to heal our emotional wounds, we unconsciously rush into romance, hoping this new bond can restore feelings of wholeness and belonging. The affections of another can appear to be the missing piece we need in order to feel complete. So we pour our souls into kindling that initial spark, hungry for the affirmation of mutual chemistry. When it ignites, our spirits are renewed with purpose and joy. We immerse ourselves in newfound pleasures, the coy text exchanges, the stolen glances, the exciting intimacy. For a while, this masks the underlying insecurities that plagued us. But as we settle into this relationship, this mask wears off. Our hidden self reemerges, carrying past traumas and doubts below the surface. We begin to often demand reassurance from our partners to keep old demons at bay. We devolve into jealousy, mistrust, neediness, and control, afraid they will inevitably leave or betray us as others had before. We try to manipulate the relationship to serve our ego's needs, draining the life out of the bond. Our lover becomes solely a prop to lean our insecurities upon, not a whole being with whom to walk life's rich terrain. The sage words of the Stoics return to us. Demand from yourself, not from others. We must nurture our own wholeness first before seeking a stable union, confronting past wounds, developing self-knowledge, and anchoring to our inner stillness for peace and strength. This prevents making relationships a bandage for deeper healing or a crutch for permanent confidence. Done with integrity, the journey inward prepares us for the right outward bonds. Self-reflection. When we stop making love the focus of our existence, space opens up for a profound journey of self-discovery. This was the core tenet put forth by the Stoic philosophers: know thyself, nurture thyself, perfect thyself. By directing our gaze inward, we can begin unraveling the complex threads that weave together to form our distinctive essence. This process requires dedicating time for regular and rigorous self-reflection, during which we examine the stories, beliefs, experiences, emotions, desires, fears, contradictions, and questions that run through our minds. We inquire into what provides us meaning and purpose, what drains our spirit, and what parts of life we have been avoiding out of self-protection. We listen closely to the whispers of intuition nudging us toward more authentic ways of being. While uncomfortable at first, ultimately illuminating truths will rise to the surface if we cultivate patience and non-judgment. As clarity emerges, we start reevaluating our priorities and relationships in a new light. We may realize certain passions, interests, places, or communities align closer with our soul's purpose. We may uncover gifts and talents to share more fully with the world, or ways we have been playing small to conform to other people's expectations. The more we bear courageous witness to these insights, responding with care and wisdom, the more we build self-trust and security. We no longer need to seek validation about our worth. We feel dignity in developing according to our inner guide. We attract new opportunities and people that resonate on this frequency. We experience life more vibrantly, no longer numbing or avoiding pieces of ourselves. We uncover our wholeness that had been obscured under layers of false narratives. This self-knowledge anchors us in calm strength to weather life's ups and downs. We treat ourselves and others with grace and compassion. We become less rattled when things do not go as planned, relying on our inner light for guidance. Our happiness shines brightly from the inside out, not dependent on external validation. From this centered place, we enter any relationships or accomplishments out of healthy fullness, rather than lack or desperation. Self-love. When we have nurtured a rich inner world grounded in self-knowledge and authentic pursuits, we begin to radiate magnetic energy. The Stoics understood that an enlightened state conveys an unspoken power to attract people and circumstances aligned with one's highest self. Freed from constant inner turmoil, we emanate peace, optimism, and enthusiastic engagement with life. As we spend time immersed in activities that light us up inside, we shine with curiosity, passion, and vitality. We embody self-love through valuing growth and caretaking of our body, mind, and spirit. We generously uplift those around us with words of encouragement. Rather than hiding parts of ourselves, we freely express our quirks, creativity, and convictions. We learn to chuckle at our own foolishness, no longer taking ourselves too seriously. We make peace with our limitations while still stretching further out of our comfort zone. We exude humility, wonder, and gratitude for the profound privilege of simply being alive. This inner radiance ripples out in ever-widening circles, sowing seeds of inspiration. People are drawn to our warmth and authenticity. We attract those seeking someone with substance and levity, with equal parts self-assurance and vulnerability. Our connections flow from a place of mutual admiration, not dependency or insecurity. We no longer feel we have to chase love, for our wholeness speaks for itself. When we revel in the fullness of each moment, partners who expand our joy come naturally. We bask in intimacy that amplifies our understanding of ourselves and others. With equanimity as our anchor, we ride out relational storms, embracing imperfections. We become beings bursting with love who need not grasp what we already have within. Self-acceptance. The Stoics understood that nothing external can complete us. True fulfillment stems from nurturing our inner landscape. Yet, when we're young especially, we often make finding love the central preoccupation of our lives. We pour massive energy into the quest for a partner, believing that will heal our loneliness. Subconsciously, we may have been trying to resolve unmet childhood attachment needs for affection and validation. We desperately crave that storybook rescue by our soulmate who will finally make us feel whole. In our society, the message bombards us that a romantic relationship equals success and maturity. So we fixate on someone new to fill the perceived void or status symbol. We may contort ourselves to become their imagined ideal, hiding real parts of ourselves. We analyze texts and behavior for signs they could be the one. We replay first kisses with fairy tale hope, already dreaming of a future together before truly knowing someone. Inevitably, though, reality sets in. We discover differences that require compromise. The excitement wanes. Loving takes continual work. We realize two incomplete people cannot complete each other. The initial rescue fantasy is now drained and exposed as an illusion. We are left with just the raw, imperfect human before us. If we make love the sole focus of our life, losing it can threaten our entire sense of meaning. This clingingness and expectation usually backfires, eroding relationships under unseen pressure. There comes a turning point when we must ask, have I made another person my entire source of happiness and validation? What has happened to my wholeness? The Stoic prescription flips the script, redirects energy inward to develop self-sufficiency first. Then engage in relationships from a place of inherent completeness, not desperation or avoidance. With security grounded inside, love can flower unencumbered by fear or illusion. By stopping the unhealthy chase, we let wholesome bonds blossom in their natural time. Personal growth. The Stoic sages taught that real love can only flow when our own cup runneth over. We must nurture sources of joy and meaning within before seeking a partner. When we're lonely, this truth escapes us. Connecting with another seems the necessary ingredient for happiness, so we rush into romance hoping someone can fill our inner void. However, this void is of our own making, buying into fears of unworthiness, avoiding self-growth, and neglecting our higher calling. No one else can heal these wounds or provide our missing sense of purpose. And when new love inevitably loses its initial thrill, unable to permanently fulfill us, we either cling desperately or sink back into the abyss. It is only when we cultivate our inner world that we no longer desperately seek completion from a relationship. We fill our lives with passionate pursuits that light us up with vitality. We tend lovingly to our emotional landscape, making peace with imperfections. From this place of inner fullness, we attract wholesome connections without urgency or fantasy. We enjoy getting to know someone without projecting imagined perfection onto them. We communicate openly, give freely without expectation, and combine lives without losing our sense of self. Conclusion. Before learning to love, you must first find that inner balance and fulfillment. Instead of chasing love, grow yourself, and in time, true love and happiness will find you. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get more amazing content. See you in the next video.